Hey traders, how you going? I know that it's been at least a week or 2 weeks now that there hasn't been any chart breakdowns, CBDs. Um, so this is number 20. Okay, so there's been a lot of activity going on. Been busy with other projects and my own personal trading. So I needed some time to build that up and get myself to the next level and try and level up. Okay, now with that, everything seems to be clear, and we can continue with our normal duties, and that is to serve you traders. Okay, paid traders. Now, this is going to be number 20. So with that means that there's 20 weeks of videos in this channel. Okay, the Royal Members Weekly CBD channel. Okay, so that's 20 weeks of you guys watching these videos. Okay, some analysis may have not played out to be as I have analyzed it to be, and that's okay. That's going to happen. That's what you see at the time. Okay, that's what you see at the time of you marking out your charts and your currency pairs. With me saying that is that when you mark something out, do you just enter that trade? Definitely not. It is just strictly you analyzing a chart and seeing if it's actually going to play out. Okay, setup. Okay, so with this video particularly, I'm going to go through all 28 currencies. There's a lot of different exotics and commodities, and with all this crypto stuff going on. Okay, I personally I'm pretty much a virgin when it comes to cryptos. Like, I don't know much about it. I'm slowly easing into it because that's the future of where things are heading. Okay, so enough me talking. Hopefully you guys weren't annoyed with me not producing the next CBDs. So this is going to be 20. So we are now into the twos. Okay, big 20, and let's get on the charts and see what's going to happen. What I personally see potentials in the market for next week. Okay, and weeks ahead. All right, I'll just share my screen. Okay. Actually, I'll check all my volume and things like that as well. Okay, so hopefully guys, you can hear me, you can see me. I'll go through all the videos and the volume later on as well and do a double check. Now, over here, you would have seen me post a potential royal trade call on AUD CAD, Canadian, okay, Aussie dollar, Canadian, right? So what I see here is always start from a higher perspective, okay? Now, I see a lot of weekly rejections here, okay? So if anything, in between the weekly and the dailies, we can have, the weekly and then the monthlies, we can have 1 or 2 daily levels, okay? So over here, we have a support, a support, a support, a resistance. Okay, market broke below, retested and then fell through, counter trend line, and then it just kept dropping. Okay, so we don't really need to have all that markings on there. We want to look at the most relevant areas of price action, understanding, of course. Okay, so you got the monthly here, right? Price went all the way up. Okay, so that's a last level of a monthly lower high. These are also, but if anything, the market has reached a level of exhaustion, which in this case would be the weekly. Okay, so there's multiple wicks here, and then if you look left, trade right. Okay, so history always repeats itself. You need at least 3 to 4 touches, okay, of a level. Bringing that down to the daily. So we were still in an uptrend, okay? We were still in this uptrend, all right? So you're buying from the pullbacks, right? So if you see this, okay, so if you see this, hang on, I will just do this. It's also a good way to backtest, even though we do have the backtesting replay tool here. Just bear with me, guys. It probably won't work. How is this? Why isn't this working? Visuals. Anyway, what I'm trying to get to is, I was trying to block all this price in the black box, so I'll just use the replay tool, okay? Now, over here, obviously the market has made a condition in the market. So understanding very simple factors is that market can go three ways, okay? Up, down, or sideways. In this case, we have a clear uptrend, okay, and the market has taken off. So if the market has already made a move, okay, right, that is a potential run, okay? The market has already made its run. So if we are in a run phase, so there's market conditions and phases, okay? So in this phase, the market has made its run. What do we do after a run? Always look for a pullback, because you don't want to just enter a buy straight off the bat, okay? It doesn't work like that. You want to come back, okay, and wait for a pullback, right? So we will just use this replay tool, okay? Now with the pullback, you want to look for rejections. In this case, it's broken this monthly resistance, which is now support because prices are above, okay? Simple things, guys. It's just the small things, you know? It's rejecting, okay? And look, the moving averages are up and prices are, you know, respecting and are above the moving averages here. So we can see that the market has made an area of a new higher low, okay? We can then mark out this area here. So when you are looking for entries, you can start entering anywhere from the daily right down to the 5 minute, okay? But your best structure points, okay, you need to have a look at the weekly, because the weekly has good overall, okay, knowing where you are overall, okay? But the best trading structures, market structure, okay, is going to be the daily and the 4 hourly, okay? With that, you can enter straight off that, all right? But your stop loss might be a bit wide. So when you see these people, they get these wick entries and things like that. What happens is you need to understand that, oops. Hang on, I will just change that to blue. Where even is this? Why is this like this? Just wait a second, guys. This is giving me some dramas here. Okay, so I will just do that. Change that to blue. Okay. All right. So you want to focus on the area where you see potential buyers, right? Then you want to zoom into that area. Okay, you want to zoom into that area. All right. You will see, look, the market has gone down and it's gone down again. So it's testing quite a bit here. Okay, you can have a counter trend here. Okay, so with that, this was a breakout candle. Okay, so you could have had buys straight off that. But if you go lower and lower, you'll realize that you could have entries off here. You could have had entries off here. Okay, these bullish engulfings. The problem is with patterns is that there's so many of them, okay, so many names, and there's actually more names than one for each pattern. It can get a lot confusing. It can get really confusing, and there is no need for that. There's no room for confusion, okay? So with that, all I call them is bullish, okay, and bearish rejections, rejection candles. Okay, you can remember, you know, 3 or 4 or 5 or whatever, or even have a list of entry reversal candle patterns in front of you. That's fine, but I like to look at exhaustion areas. Okay, structure. You know, knowing structure. Okay, higher lows, and then you look at the wicks. Okay, the exhaustion, the long wicks, right? With that, it's good if price rejects that, moves away from the price or the area, and then even comes back. That's called confirmation. Okay, confirmation. See how the price rejects over here, moves away from the area, the zone, or whatever you want to call it, support. Okay, and then comes back down again. All right, rejects, and then this is confirmation. See how there's all this confirmation going on here, guys. All right, and remembering which trend you are in. Okay, look at all this confirmation here. All right, and then we've got the break, retest, and then that could have been your entry. Right, so going back to the higher time frame, which was the daily, we'll clean this up. I will just clean that up now. Where are we here? So I just want to clean this up. There's a lot going on here. Just bear with me, guys, for a second. Okay. Always keep your charts clean, crisp, and precise. All right. So, all right. Going back to the daily here. If we get our replay tool, it was somewhere over here. We obviously know what's happened, but I'm going back in price. Okay, I'm going back in price, right? So what do I have these monthly and these weeklies here? I have these monthlies and these weeklies here as key levels, whole numbers, okay? Whole numbers like 9, 10, okay? 9, 5, 8, 5, 8, okay? And then your weeklies are going to be 25s, 75s, 25s, 75s, so on and so on. You can do this on all charts, all currency pairs, because look how the price respects those levels. They are potential areas, okay, where you can have projections, where you can find reversals, okay, trades from. All right, knowing your candlestick analysis, which is, you know, mixed in with price action. Over here, okay, market broke the the weekly support, okay, retested it. There's multiple days of rejections. Obviously, if you scale into a lower time frame, then, you know, You can trade off this. Look, breakout candle, moving averages cross. And where is the next target going to be? The monthly support, right? Look at that, 166 pips. Monthly to weekly, weekly to monthly, okay? And then also you got your main trend line here, okay? You got your counter trends, counter trend breaks, okay? So these are pullbacks, runs, pullbacks, and then enter a sell again, okay? Pullback, this counter trend breaks and then goes back into its run, following the overall direction, okay? Sell, 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 okay? Obviously, there's other areas intraday, okay? You can scale in. So this run, there's so many different structures within that. 4 hourly, 2 hourly, okay? So with that, you can, scale into this. So let's just circle this area. Okay, so we are saying sell, sell here. So these are pullbacks, sellers, pullback, sellers, okay? That's okay. But if we look into this on a 1 hour and we go back into that area, I'll show you what that looks like. There's trends within, okay? There's trends within trends. Look how that area looks. Once again, run, pullback, boom, sell, pullback, pullback, sell, pullback, sell, pullback, sell, okay? So you can have multiple sellers within that daily push, okay? So we already know where we are going, but if we scale in and we may have missed entries, then we can get into those smaller levels as well, okay? Alrighty, so now if we go back to where we were originally, over here, break the monthly, we can aim for the weekly resistance, which is now support, okay? So if you do that, okay, I'll just zoom into here. I'm just doing a bit of a training, okay? Just doing some basic training with you guys to get us started in. We're going to go through all this, okay, today, and I'll post it in the CBD group and also YouTube channel, okay? So let that hit. See, and let's hit our target and then going beyond, okay? So let's just get out of that. We already know what's up, okay? And even here, look, check out this, guys. Over here was resistance, okay? Price broke that, retested it, okay? We can go into smaller time frames to get that entry if we don't have one here, and then our trade would be once again like this, okay? There's your risk to reward. 61 pips, stop loss for 324, and if you rode that up to the highs, that's 587 pips, okay? And then you need to realize that, you know, there's weekly structures over here. So there's a previous weekly lower high, which it's reached that high, and now it's rejecting and falling, okay? So the higher time frames, I'm not there for no reason, they do turn around as well. But look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks. Okay, so in this pullback, there's 7 weeks of buying opportunities until it starts to reject and then falls down for fucking 700 odd pips to the downside. Okay, why? Because look, we are clearly in a downtrend. So there's a few factors. It becomes a lot easier once you structure your routine and then understand what you're looking for. Okay, so you're not always going to be looking at the higher time frames. It's just a brief look, understanding where you are overall, and then breaking that down into the daily and 4-hour to look for your potential trades. With your potential trades, where you are looking to enter, you will then scale into that daily and 4-hourly area, whether it's a lower high to sell or a higher low to buy up again. Then you will scale into that 2-hour, 1 hour, right down to the 30 and the 15-minute. Okay, to get your perfect, nice, clean entries going forward. Okay. So yes, we will smash out this. Less talking, less education. I like to, get you guys, give you some, what do you call it? Do a refresh. I like to do a refresh with you guys, to show you how we trade, how we see the market. Okay, because it's always good to have a follow-up. And, sometimes we might forget what we should be looking for, how we do things. So it's good to do a bit of a follow-up, a refresh of our minds, to, not skip any steps. And then we can, keep doing that, pretty much repeat. That's all we are doing. We are just repeating the same thing over and over again. I think the hardest thing is patience, waiting for, multiple days, hours and hours and hours, thinking that in the next 5 minutes something's going to happen, but you're looking at a 4-hour time frame, so you need to wait for the next 4-hour candle, which is going to be 4 hours. So just remembering, it's the small things, it's the small things that makes a difference. Okay, so with that, okay, AUD CAD, I'm looking to short. Okay, AUD, I'm just going to smash these out now. Okay, I'm just going to smash these out. AUD Swiss franc, it's consolidating. Look at a higher perspective. We are still in a downtrend. Okay, that's the previous lower high. So if we break below, okay, if we break below and have some sort of retest, okay, so what I'm saying is, if we break below, have a retest, okay, then we can potentially even look for targets here. Once again, if structure holds to the downside, then and we get nice areas of sellers, then we can keep writing it down. But we don't know. Okay, we don't know. We just go with what we see, what we expect. If that happens, then we will take that trade. Okay, none of these things may work out. Okay, I can go back to these markings in a few weeks' time and see if this analysis actually played out. All right, it needs to do certain things before we even consider entering that trade. Okay, so I'm looking for something like this: break, retest. Okay, if it breaks the lows, then retest, and then okay. Now, if it breaks the highs, then unfortunately we have a continuation to the highs, and even more so if it breaks any overall higher time frame structures, then yeah, it could be a massive turnaround. And I don't know, we'll see, guys, we'll see. But I'm looking for break below, retest, and then rejections. With that, I haven't mentioned in the training at the beginning, you can use your fibs. Okay, so how fibs work? how it works is we are in an uptrend here, clear uptrend, okay? You want to go from the previous low of the push, okay, into the recent high, okay? So where the market has stopped here, okay, so this higher low to higher high, okay, is how the Fibonacci works. With a downtrend, it needs to be from previous lower high to lower low, okay, and then you got the pullback, rejections, here was the 50%, okay, so it's respecting that, which is also in line with this support here, bit of a rejection into monthly, but it's holding in and around here, okay, which is pretty close to where this is. So it's broke that, retested, also the Fibonacci, and where is our potential targets? Now, our potential targets is the weekly support, okay, or you can have the previous lows, okay. Now, if the lows are broken, then we have the Fib extension targets, which is the month, the minus 27. And check out this, the minus 61.8 is perfectly aligned with our weekly support, right? And then with that, you can redraw that again and again and again, okay? In this area here, it wasn't very valid, okay? It wasn't very valid, so you wanted, you know, you can draw Fibonacci on a weekly, you can, okay? But best to stick to the daily and the 4 hour. Daily and the 4 hour for just about everything for trading, okay? The higher time frames are, you know, for long-term visions, what is happening overall. With that, you want to, you know, focus on the daily and the 4 hour structures, the daily and the 4 hour structures, okay? 2 hour, okay, and a 1 hour is going to be more so intraday, but see things like this, intraday. So what you could have even done here, previous structure was here, okay, it's rejecting the 61.8. So if structure falls in between the 78.6 and the 61, okay, that is the golden zone. That's the golden zone. That's a zone where, you know, it's a high probability area, okay? You know, that's a quite decent high level to, you know, enter, and you can catch up a lot of pips, okay? So with that, again, there is a counter trend break, moving average across, and this candle here was the breakout. Obviously, you could have gone in to, you could have scaled into lower time frames in this consolidation that you see here. This consolidation over here, you could have gone into a 1 hour, 30 minute, 15, and your entry could have maybe been a lot sooner in and around here, and your counter trend break would have been somewhere maybe in here, okay? So there's different options. There's swing, okay? So that's a breakout, your entry is here, stop loss here. Swing trading, stop losses are a lot wider. That's why scaling in can help to get a better risk to reward and more pips, okay? With this, our target can be the weekly support, or once that support breaks, then we can aim for the extension minus 27, 61.8, okay? Here I am off track again. Like, I'm so passionate about explaining things, teaching you guys how to do things. Like, I'm in my 4th year now in this, okay? I've had numerous, you know, internet famous traders, so to speak. There's a lot of bullshit artists there, but when you get to know someone's technique, the hype is real. You know, like that. The hype is real. Um, these guys are doing it. There's a lot of hate against certain traders. It's just, you know, it's the industry that we are in. It's a psychology thing. Always will be. Always is. It's definitely. You're always going to have a hater. Okay, you're going to have a hater. People watching this, they're probably hating on me. Okay, because they have their own way of looking at things, and there's always going to be a disagreement to how things are. Okay, and that's fine. It doesn't mean nothing to me, because I've tried just about every single thing out there on the internet. Like, seriously, go into Google search and type in Forex trading or YouTube. There's probably about a million educators and methods and techniques and all that kind of stuff. Does it work? Maybe. Okay, but if you're going to keep searching for the next answer or the next education, you know, you're just flooding your mind with information, and it's not necessary. That's why I've gone with several well-known traders. Okay, they started from nothing, and they are where they are now. I'm actually trading one of these person's trading account funds. Okay, and that is Astro FX. The account fund is actually going quite well. It's growing slowly, more or less long term. Okay, personal account is going well as well, as you guys have been seeing in the past weeks. The last week or two recently, mainly this week, has been very slow. Few trades have hit my stop losses, and it's going to happen. You know, like you're going to have multiple great weeks. You're going to have even days. You know, like you're going to have days where you won't even need to trade for the rest of the week. Okay, you'll have that perfect trade, and then you can call it a week. Right. Going back to the charts here. So what I'm waiting for here is break and retest. Thing going on here. I just got to test my mic. Oh yeah, cool. Sometimes my mic cuts out, and that's fine. So AUD Japanese yen broke resistance, so we'll change that to monthly support. All right, so what could happen here? We have a resistance, and a resistance. Okay, overall, let's have a look at the monthly. We are still down. Okay, however, we have this, may have a crossover of the monthly, but we are respecting this daily resistance here. 1, 2, 3, third month of rejections. Okay, what could happen here is the market could just bounce and continue up, or it could respect this and continue its overall trend, and we could still see the market continue down. Okay, for us to see that, we are still in an uptrend. Okay, we are still in an uptrend. Okay, areas of higher lows. Okay, these are higher highs, these are higher highs. Okay, and these are higher lows. So you want to buy from higher lows, right? The reason why I'm repeating that is because you guys need to understand where to buy and sell. In this case, there is no sellers. Okay, there is no sellers. Maybe if you scale in and you get some quick intraday, but the market respects the higher time frames. The big investors, banks, institutions, majority of them don't even go past the daily. They do not even go look past the daily at all. Okay. So for us to see sellers, we would honestly need to see a break of the monthly, which also would take out the previous lows here, and we would need to see a transition, okay, from the highs to the lows, and our next target would be the weekly support. If that gets broken and we get, we keep continuing to see a downtrend, then we can keep aiming for the next levels, so on and so on. Okay, so this is actually not ready for us. Okay, could be. Okay, first target, let's just say monthly support here. Monthly support. Let's just scale in to see if we can see some sort of potential here. So this could have been a good selling area. Okay. Now what we need to do now is, yes, it could just go straight down, but we don't want to sell at the lows. We don't want to sell here. We want to see a pullback. Okay. Here is some support, resistance. If it's going to reject a resistance, we want to sell from that resistance. Okay, back down. Where you don't want to sell from support, wouldn't make any sense. When we're bashing ourselves into the ground, we want to go back up again and then fall to where we want to go next. Okay, so target, monthly support. So if we go back up again, then target could be here, stop loss above. So risking 23 pips to get 111. Okay, so that could be a potential for you guys as well. Moving along. AUD, NZD. AUD, NZD didn't quite happen here. We got a continuation. Let's see why. Yeah, I see. So monthly, I thought that we could respect this weekly resistance, only because here is previous structure. Okay, but we broke that, and also an indication of that would be that the moving average is crossed here and they are, flowing like that. So monthly is up, market went up. Okay, pulled back. There could have been a counter trend break here. Moving averages are still clearly up, and then that's why we went up here. Fibonacci, so the Fibonacci from the low to the high, 38.2, and look at that, it's hit minus 27 here. So yeah, like at the time I would have been stuck in lower time frames here due to the fact where I was thinking that we're going to go down. This right here is a perfect example why lower time frames are useless to trade, to find trades, because as you know, monthly, weekly, daily, price respects the higher time frames. Repeat with me, price respects the higher time frames. It's the world economy, okay? Things take time. There's certain position traders where they'll enter this monthly lower high, okay? And then just ride it for even years, right? But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months, there's like 5 to 6 months of an uptrend here before that happens. But then you can ride that down for like 2,000-3,000 pips, that's just fucking insane. That's just insane, okay? Crazy, right? Anyway, let's get back to this. So delivered a uptrend, clear uptrend. Okay, break that, and once again we have a moving average crossover, break, retest, and then we have nice areas of where price has made a run, a pullback, scale in, buy again, pullback, you know, so on and so on. Use know the idea of how this works now. Now it's rejecting the monthly resistance here. I don't have the listings where it says monthly, okay? So monthly resistance 1.10000 is getting respected, okay? So scale into that and look at that. It's respected. So you got support here. Okay, so now if we come back to that, we can sell back down. Now, what could also happen is if we break that, we want to see this support broken, retest it, and then we can aim for this weekly support. Okay, so I need to change that to support, weekly support, right? So that's the weekly support. I haven't really updated the colors and how things are at the moment, but that's pretty much head and shoulders. The neckline here, if the neckline gets broken, retest, then we can aim for sellers down here, okay? Moving along. AUD, it just looks like all this AUD looks quite similar, doesn't it? So let's just go, see, multiple weeks of rejections here. So this monthly is now support, okay? So multiple weeks of rejections of this weekly resistance, right? So where can we aim? Here is the last bit of support here, okay? If we break that, then we can aim for the monthly support. Simple as that, so yes, okay? And then once again, if we have a huge turnover, okay, which we can't predict that, we can just go with what we can see at the time of the analysis, okay? Clear structures like this, but because it's easier to say that you can sell here, okay, because look, the structure is clean, very clean. Here was a bit, you know, steep, but then it broke this counter trend. Where are we? It broke this counter trend and then fell through. So even this counter trend here is broken, clearly broke. So it broke some decent prices, but it doesn't mean that it can't fall past that and then continue down. All right. We'll see, guys. We'll see. This might even, the Australian dollar could, you know, be very strong and then, you know, have decent, you know, could go past 82 cents, 84. You know, it could be a strong thing for us. Could be a strong dollar strength, Australian dollar strength. Okay, so hang on, I'm just gonna have some of this nice beer that I got here, guys. I love Stone and Wood. It's brewed here in Australia. Great beer. Okay, moving along. We want to see a clear break, maybe even scale in to lower time frames. We know the procedures now, and then we can aim for the monthly support here, and then even potential if that breaks and starts to, you know, transition from this uptrend, then we can, you know, maybe even get a downtrend. But we want to, well, I'm personally a medium-term swing, so I trade in between these levels. I understand that in between these levels, there's 250 pips each time. Okay, so even here, if we get this sell down here, that's 155 pips, you know. Why aim for something down here? You know, you can catch that in between the levels. So you can catch 250 pips, see what happens. If the new trend holds its downtrend, then just keep trading to and from these levels, right? Also understanding that in between those levels of the monthly and the weekly, you will find dailies, okay? There's going to be dailies as well. One or two. If there is none, if there's no dailies, then stick to your monthly and the weeklies. Moving along. Canadian Swiss franc. All right, let's zoom out here. Canadian Swiss franc has broken a weekly uptrend pullback, right? So that's a monthly resistance. Moving averages are down. So look at this. It's broken my support. Okay, now it's coming back up to retest. So I can't remember when I had this on here, but I can extend that to over here as for my daily support, now resistance. So what I'm looking for here is a counter trend break, because obviously we are still in an uptrend here. See how the market's making higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows. So we want it to break that and then aim for weekly support here. Okay, moving along. I'm going to do these really quick now. Bit of a mess going on here, so I'll delete that. Support makes resistance. Actually quite choppy, this one, but we're clearly in a downtrend. So we would need to see this broken and transitioned, but what we see here is we may even aim. So over here we have resistance here, and then support. Okay, so then we got a counter break here, broke out, retested. This monthly looks like it's becoming support here. So what could happen is Canadian Japanese yen could be even a potential buy into the weekly resistance, guys. Okay, moving along. Swiss franc Japanese yen, Swiss franc Japanese yen, going back to the higher time frames now. It's broken my daily resistance here, as you can clearly see, and it's actually broken that and got to my see how I need to change this, because who knows how long ago I had these markings, and they played out quite well. Moving averages crossed over here, weekly, daily. So then you will see, we will see the clear uptrend. This is a clear uptrend, okay. Higher highs. Oh, this is broken as well. So this downtrend, counter trend broken. Again, broke, retested. Moving averages crossed over here, and then we got the new trend. Okay, from down to up transition. But this is actually only just a weekly pullback, right? So then you got weekly run, pullback, run, pullback. Okay, so this was a downtrend, and then it transitioned over here. See, crossover, the moving averages, breakout candle, boom, retest, and then new trend. Massive weekly downtrend, and then continuation to the upside. Okay, so in this huge weekly downtrend, there were good trades as well. Bit choppy around here, bit annoying, but then you just scrap that, and then you see what happens in the future. Nice sellers here, nice sellers here. Unfortunately, then we broke out, rejected the monthly support, and then we created a new uptrend. Okay. So what do we see here? Now there's a bit of resistance here, support here. Okay. Now if we respect that, I'm now in the 4 hour. If we respect that, we might even get a counter trend break here. Okay, so it's bounced off support again. If it breaks that, we've got a moving average cross. So now if it breaks that, okay, retests, and then continuation to the upside. Yeah, if it breaks the support, then we may see a transition, and then we can aim for monthly supports, dailies, and weekly supports as well. Okay, so if I just clear all that up, I normally don't trade these pairs, but I'm going through all the pairs in this because there hasn't been any CBDs for quite some time. So I'm going to go through all these with you guys. So it's going to be a long video recording. Okay, Euro CAD on the weekly. Whoops. Euro CAD on the weekly, there would have been some sort of markings here. So looks like there's weekly support here, so there could be a transition in that. Yeah, that's a long time ago, that. Resistance here, support here, so it's consolidating. There's nothing that we can really do. Maybe, you know, get into some buyers and some sellers so we can, you know, sell from resistance, buy from there. But look, it's sideways, okay? Wait for a breakout with this one. If it breaks above, then you know where to aim. If it breaks below, then you've got your targets here, okay? So I'll keep that box here. This blue line here is our daily. Okay, so I'll keep that there and see what happens, guys. Okay, so even here we've got higher lows. Okay, so with this, could break the resistance and continue. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Okay, moving along. Euro CAD. Euro CAD. Oh, lovely. Euro CAD is weekly, monthly is up. Okay, weekly is up, but it's moving averages for both are up. Okay, so it's rejected this resistance. Oh man, it's been quite a time since I've seen. Whoops. Yeah. Monthly support. Actually, I might keep the dotted monthly and weeklies because they sort of, you know, they work good with your eyes and psychology. So yeah, I'm going to go back to the dotted weeklies. They seem to be, you know, good for me. So it rejected this, broke the monthly, so now that's a support. This is now, yeah, that's still resistance. Okay, so yeah, it's respected the resistance here. Okay, multiple weeks, and you can see what trade opportunity this was. So here was some ugly consolidation, and then we got the breakout. See how we get the breakout from the consolidation, and then the retest. Okay, so on and so on. Now it's been respecting that. It's almost touched the monthly resistance here, break below, and look at this. Run, pull back, look for sellers, boom, pull back, look for sellers. Also, we have a crossover here. So this was the previous support, okay, broke, retest, all right, retested this support, also the weekly resistance. So we are aiming for the monthly support here. Now, we're not going to sell this, okay, we're not going to sell this. So the next bit of support is here. So if we get a rejection from that, okay, if we get a rejection, a pullback or something, then we can sell back down to the support. Now, if we break that support rejection, okay, we want to see nice areas like this, okay. So break, retest, continuation. That's pretty much what all trading is. The hardest part, once again, is going to be the waiting game, okay. So break, you're not just going to enter there, you want to see a pullback. However, if we don't get that pullback and there's a lot of sellers, then this could just, you know, smash through. Eventually, everything has to come to an end. It will eventually stop. The price always stops. When, we don't know, but when it does, then we can, you know, wait for the pullbacks, the clear entries, and then it's what's going to grow us as a trader, our psychology, our patience, our greed, a lot of factors, okay, a lot of factors. So now we got, we could get a break, we could get a rejection. Well, not get, that's something that we would be waiting for, and then we can aim for the next levels of potential targets. Okay, I'll just leave that there and see what happens, guys. You can have a trend line here as well. All right. Euro, Swiss franc. I'm seriously just going to go through these quickly so I don't make this video too busy. Respecting this, it's still an uptrend here. So monthly is down. Respecting this support here, okay, daily support. I'm just going to do that. So daily support here, respecting that. So it's respecting that, respecting the weekly resistance here. So what we want to see here is check out these rejections here. Once again, it's consolidating, right? It's consolidating. So with this, what the hell is that? What was that? Okay, so we want to see a break and retest again. Okay, break and retest, and then possibly aim for break and retest, and then possibly aim for this support here. Okay, because we could aim for the monthly as well, but what may happen also is, looking at this clearly, is that this was a downtrend, okay? This then transitioned into an uptrend. So what could happen is this could, you know, make a new higher low and then go up again. So it's best to aim for this level here as a daily support, and that could be a potential area to get targets, okay? Or it could just break above and then can continue its downtrend. If it does that and it breaks this resistance, then we can aim for the monthly resistance. Okay, makes sense? A lot of consolidation happening throughout these currency pairs, eh? Once again, there's consolidation here along the monthly monthly resistance here. Okay, monthly resistance here. So what we want to wait for here is it's still making this. Okay, so over here could have been good sellers. See how price broke, retested, scale in, sell. Okay, retested, scale in, sell. So once again, I would personally wait to see what price does along here, and you can probably catch a nice sell. Mind you, if this support gets taken out, okay, retested, possibly the previous support, then resistance, then you can aim for something like this. It could even respect the monthly resistance. Okay, so watch out for these pairs. Okay, we're halfway through them now. Euro Japanese yen run. Okay, runs happened. Hasn't broken this previous structure. Okay, you could just bounce and then continue. We want to see a break of that structure, retest, and then aim for something like this. So what are we? What actually? Yeah, we're in an uptrend. Okay, we're in an uptrend. So it's very crucial to be looking for sellers in a higher time frame overall perspective, because you're going to be trading against the trade. Okay, it's something that you don't really. I don't counter trend trade, so I don't scale into areas here and then try and catch a sell move, knowing that even though it's a area like this, but it's too close to levels and things like that. You want a level to be broken, and then, but yeah, that's all in the education online course and things like that. So we want to see a clear break and then sell, or maybe even a bounce and then a buy. So right now, there's nothing really potentially telling us what we want to be doing here. Oh yeah, so yeah, that was that was a long time ago. Damn, worked out. Went higher. Went higher. Nice, because I had this at that time. I seen that there's support. See, this was a downtrend, and then crossover, breakout, retest, and then boom. Okay, yeah, sweet as. That worked out. That actually worked out. So my entries were somewhere here when I scaled in, and that went up. Oh, like 600 pips. Okay, and then you could have had opportunities. You could have had opportunities to buy here and here as well. Okay, so never think that you're missing out. You just got to wait for the next opportunity. It's all it is, right? Moving along. Euro NZD rejecting. Well, there's a lot of stuff going on here. A lot of stuff going on here. Damn, when was the last time I marked this out? Monthly, weekly. Weekly support. Okay, monthly resistance. That's pretty much support at the moment. So it's struggling here on the daily is up. Weekly is up. Look at this structure here. See, higher time frames has structure as well, and counter trends. See. That answers your question. What time frame should you be focusing on? Only the higher ones. And then looking for trades on the daily and the 4-hour. Entering on a lower time frame, scaling into that daily and 4-hour structure. Okay, so I like to go back to these things to refresh you guys with your education, your understanding. So daily is up. Okay, what's the 4-hour? 4-hour. Okay, so what could happen here is it's respecting this monthly support. Okay, we could get a bounce, and then aim for the monthly or even higher. Okay, so let's just get a fib. Okay, fib from here to here, 38.2 monthly support. Okay, so we could definitely see a continuation, because why look for a sell when we're clearly in an uptrend, right? Wouldn't make any sense. So we could see this go over here. Right, so like that. Mind you, if this support gets taken out, what do? We want to see a retest. We want to see rejections. We want that confirmation to see that it's not going to break that roof, aka resistance, okay, for us to sell down, and then that would be the weekly support. Okay, so let's just see what happens here. Euro USD, choppy. Also has broken some levels here because I haven't really been trading this pair. Weekly support. This is now weekly, monthly support. Okay, this is weekly support. Okay, so it's rejecting the weekly support. Now, over here was previous low to previous high, 38.2, monthly support. Boom, hit the monthly and also Fibonacci extension targets on the daily Fibonacci. This is the daily, okay? Within that, there could have been a counter trend and then a transition. Okay, so let's just have a look at that. See, there's a counter trend here. Where are we? There's a counter trend here. Okay, counter trend. Okay, and then the transition happened. Something like this, broke out, and then moved away from price, came back to retest. Okay, and then you buy from support. Okay, and then there's so many other chances where you could have bought. Okay, here is a strong level of support. Okay, so I'm not going to use that. This is just a brief sort of look. So let's actually stay on this time frame here. We have a daily resistance here and a daily support here. Okay, so we are consolidating. We don't need that fib anymore because that's already happened, that move's happened. Okay, so it's consolidating. We can clearly see that the price is, you know, in a range. Understanding this uptrend, downtrend range can save you a lot of time and especially money to not get caught up in this. You can trade this. It's quite easy. You sell from resistance, okay, to support. You buy from support to resistance. All right. There's going to be in between fluctuations, things like market, you know, broke this counter trend in between the range. You got your moving crossover. You got your breakout, your retest. Get your fib out, you know, 38.2 and hit both targets. You know, that's intraday. You know, that's intraday stuff. You know, you can trade like that. That's fine. I do it. Okay. You got your intraday. You got your swing. So yeah, in this case, intraday would be quite the thing that you would be looking for. Over here, rejections. Okay, so you can make that a lot bigger. Rejections here. So even over here, you can have little breakout boxes. Okay, breakout boxes like this. Break out. Maybe you can even scale into there. See how I scaled in. Let's go to a 15-minute. See, this was a whole consolidation here, right? And look, that's the breakout. Okay, you can sell here, and then aim for whatever next target you've got here. Let's just say back down to support. And this daily support is pretty close to our weekly support, so you could aim for that. And if you missed this scaling in, look, the market retested again. Okay, the market made its move. Check out these rejections here. Okay, went back up. They're the rejections. Okay, so you can have your little box as well. And then once again, you can bring out your fibs. Okay, you can bring out your fibs from the high. Let's just say the box lows, 38.2. Counter trend break. Okay, check out this breakout candle. maybe even a better entry there. Oh yeah, definitely. It broke out here, so your entry could have been here, and then entry here when the market price breaks out, stop loss, and then you got your fib target. You got your fib target based on the higher time frame fib. Okay, target 1 was hit. All right. Trading is simple, but it's not easy. It's not easy. Waiting for these things to happen, and you know, trade what you see, not what you think, not what you think's going to happen. It needs to be printed. It needs to be physically in front of you for you to take that trade. I know that we want to. I know that we all want to trade every day, and we want to, you know, catch a move every time we go onto the chart. But the honest truth is, it's never always going to be like that. There's going to be weeks where, there's even going to be months where there's just going to, you know, trade opportunities are just going to flow. Like, you can find a trade every fucking day, nearly every hour. Okay, that's because what's happened there is those monthly and weekly consolidations that you were waiting for have finally broken out for you to then, you know, for then traders like us or banks or institutions, after that huge multiple weeks and months of waiting, you then get multiple weeks and months of trading. Okay. Great British Pound AUD. Great British Pound AUD has given me a headache. I'm going to be honest. It's been giving me a headache, but I will tell you what I see. What is the potential of this? We can see over here that we are in a clear uptrend. So monthly, monthly is up, okay? Because we still have these higher lows, okay? Oh shit, hang on. Weekly, okay? We're still focusing on these highs here. And check out this. Monthly support. And even has gone down to the weekly support. So many weeks, even a couple of months here of rejections, right? That's given me the idea of, okay, what's daily doing? Daily, okay, if I delete that, delete that, delete that. Daily at that time, okay, see daily at that time was in a downtrend, okay, was in a downtrend. Only till when it's rejected this weekly, printed a pin bar bullish engulfing, and also these lower highs were taken out, moving average across, so it's been taken out, broke out, and then fell down. But look how it's respecting this. This is previous support, resistance, resistance here, and now look, it's respecting here. Oh man, like 2 weeks of consolidation. But where do I see this going? I see this potentially going long term to the upside. With these situations, it takes some time, because some consolidations might be, you know, a couple of days, maybe even a few days. But in this case, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 days, okay? But remember one thing. If I just go back to the daily, remember where your rules are, what your rules are. So if I just draw this zone here, okay, our daily zone, where do we want to buy? We want to buy at support. We already know what's happened here, where we want to go, but we need to understand that we don't just enter a trade. I actually personally have stuffed up here. This week's trading had a few losses, which was actually quite annoying, because I was pushing myself. Sorry guys. I've been pushing myself to, you know, catch the move where I potentially see it going. But every time I understood this, it's still in the range. The range hasn't broken. Only till 2 days ago that we got this big bullish candle here. Okay, that's giving me the idea of, look, also here is these rejections here, these rejections. Okay, so that's a resistance there. Coming down to the 4-hourly, you will clearly see that. Okay, so you got support. All you needed to do is each time the market came to this daily support here, you could have bought, okay? And you could have bought 183 pips, 163 pips, 164 pips, 159. Ah, that's a Fibonacci. 250 pips almost, okay? And now that it's broken that, all right, I am truly aiming, okay, if we do go back to support, even better, okay? We can have a nice buying area here, right? But what I'm looking for is monthly target, and maybe even beyond and beyond, okay? So we can add a Fibonacci to this daily here. So we want to go from the lows to the highs, okay? From the beginning of the trend to the end, and then here. We've got our daily box here, our zone, our daily, okay? 38.2, it's respecting, consolidating above, all right? First target is definitely going to be the monthly, okay, the monthly resistance. And then we also got these extensions that are potential long-term targets. Because why can't this go up? You know, like, why can't this go up? Just because it seems like it's such a long way up, it doesn't mean that it can't happen. It's happened time and time again, okay? Same scenario here, just like here. 3,000 pips, okay, 3,000 pips. And look how the moving averages are crossing over. So I see this for GA, okay, potential targets. GBP, CAD, high time frame here, respecting, it's still in this consolidation, okay? So what's going to happen here, what can happen is, it's broke. This is weekly support. This is monthly support, okay? So it's been quite some time. If this support breaks and we get a retest, okay, we can aim for the monthly support, right? However, we may even get a turnaround. If we do get a turnaround at some point, it needs to break this counter trend, this resistance, so we can aim for the weekly resistance, okay? So we are in a consolidation, so I favor possibly an uptrend, okay, an uptrend, because we really don't know what's going to happen with this candle here. This candle could just, you know, this weekly candle could just whip back up and create a wick, okay, which would then leave us to look down into the 4-hourly. So yeah, see what's happened here. The 4-hour is giving us some more information here. So this could have been a good, so there was a trade here, okay, off the weekly, off the monthly resistance here, 50%, 38, okay, counter trend break, all right, moving average cross, and then you got the breakout price. So first target was the minus 27, which is confluenced with, okay, which is in line with the support here of the weekly. So that could have been a good trade. And then once again, the price jumped back up again. Redraw your fib. Okay, so we can aim, well, we would need a pullback, but here we have price going into the golden zone here. Okay, and then multiple times actually break the support. So we would honestly, we would need to see, you see what could happen is it could just go straight down with no pullback at all. And that's fine, okay? You know, like you miss trades all the time. You miss trades all the time. But for us to, you know, get back in to a trade, we want to see the pullback. Okay, pullback, rejection, possibly scale in to 1 hour 30-15 to, you know, get that better trade, to aim for the weekly, or once again the overall the fib targets, and maybe even the monthly. Okay, guys. So let's just see what happens here. GBP Swiss franc. Choppy, okay. Retest, sell back down. But what's the overall structure telling us? Oh yeah, it's down. Okay, no worries. Still a downtrend here. Bit of consolidation, so we can aim for, looks like this moving averages is getting, it's going to cross over, but there's rejections of the monthly resistance here. This is weekly support, monthly support. Okay, change that, clear that up. Consolidation here. There's support along here, so there's some support, resistance. Okay, there's a bit of activity going on here. Honestly, for this to be a seller, okay, for this to be a long-term seller, we would need to take out our daily zone here. Okay, that's in between the monthly resistance and the support, so we would need to take out that, because what could happen, guys, is it could respect that zone and then bounce and then continue this uptrend. Okay, and then we could aim for the monthly resistance. If it breaks that, then maybe even if we get our Fibonacci here, aim for the fib targets, or monthly, the weekly resistance here as well. So if it does break that support, then once again, break, retest, aim for the weekly, and maybe even the monthly support, which would then leave us to draw our fib from the highs to the lows, 61.8, and then look at that, it's pretty close to this minus 27. So there's our options. Okay, see what happens. Moving along, GBP, JPY, bouncing off resistance here, so we can aim for the support. Now there's a bit of resistance support here, and there's a bit of support here as well. So let's go down here. Okay, so that was broken, and then it was an uptrend. So yeah, we could see a pullback into this zone and then sell back down into the zone or the weekly here. Okay, but if you look clearly, it is just consolidation mess going on. Consolidating messy charts, they're good for these sort of trades. Okay, so what could happen is market, you know, could go all the way back here, which then, you know, would leave us to selling it back down again. So as long as it doesn't break this zone and the weekly, then we are clearly in an uptrend still. We are clearly in an uptrend still. So what can happen is price could go all the way up here, as long as it doesn't break the previous structure of this trend. Okay, which would then give us the chance to draw our fib from the previous low to the high. Okay, price could come down all the way down to the 61.8 and still be valid, because look, we are still in that uptrend. Okay, we are still in that uptrend, but we can trade intraday. Okay, so overall trend, uptrend, sticking to the daily and 4 hours. But in these situations, we have no option but to, you know, catch these smaller moves from the support or selling from the resistance back down again. All right, moving along. GBP and ZD could bounce off here, go back to the resistance, or we could just wait for price to go to resistance and then sell back down again. With this, we are still in an uptrend because we transitioned. Okay, we transitioned. We went from down, broke this. Okay, check out this crossover, and then we are up. Okay, now what could happen is if it breaks this support, then we can come down to the weekly. GBP, a lot of consolidations happening. That's why I said when this mess comes to an end, we can trade good opportunities again. So just be patient, guys. Just be patient, right? GBP CAD broke out this box here. Broke out of this support, retested it, moving average across, and then could have been a good sell to the weekly. This weekly broke, retested it, so we can aim for the monthly here. Do you see this? Are you witnessing this? Is it starting to click in? Is it starting to make sense? I hope so. So we can aim for here. Do we just sell? No. It could just drop straight away. That's fine, you know. You're better off missing a trade that you could have lost money on than getting into one and losing it as well, you know. So pull back again, and then sell. Okay, let's just see what the 4 hours are doing. I'd like to go a bit higher. It could just go straight down here. That's fine, but it's sort of in the middle. I want to be in a higher price. Get back into this resistance of a weekly, or maybe even this zone here to sell back down, and then aim for the monthly support. That to me looks, you know, much more reasonable. Not too many now, guys. NZD Swiss franc. I would like price to come down. Actually, yes, because we are still dropping. So when I analyzed this a few weeks back, we were somewhere around here. So it's definitely respecting this overall downtrend. Okay, so yeah, prices are below that. Weekly, so this is a weekly push. Okay. Okay, so it just takes time, you know, like each candlestick's 1 week. So just be patient. Yeah. And then each candlestick's 1 day. So over here, respected the monthly resistance, I'm aiming for, see, like I have a alert here. I'm aiming for the weekly support here. So break, retest, bearish engulfing. So I'm looking for it to go to the level here. So what could be a potential here? It could respect maybe 38 or 50, and then we can go down to the 1 hour. If it breaks my counter trend here, okay. If it breaks this counter trend, retest, and then I can aim for my weekly. And also I have these fib extension targets here as well. So I would just, well, I need this counter trend to stay here. So I'll keep that counter trend and look for an opportunity. Because like I had sellers in here in the past and sellers here, so I like to not hold my trades too crazy long, maybe within the week, a couple of days. Okay, wait for next week, get back in. Pretty much just want to, you know, make my trades, bank, secure that bag. Okay, secure that bag and move along to the next one. NZD Japanese. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more to go, and we'll end this call. Okay, CBD 20. Big things, right? Higher time frame. Always start from the higher time frame. Still downtrend. Okay, weekly, weekly down. Okay, check out this downward structure. Respecting the monthly resistance here. Okay. Where do we aim for? Where are we looking for? We're looking for the weekly. Okay, so once again, we're not just going to enter this. We need to analyze. Pause our minds. Understand where we are. What condition and what phase? Okay, condition is downtrend overall, monthly, weekly. But in this phase, we are rejecting. Okay, we are rejecting. If I could look at this daily here. Okay, so it's rejected the monthly resistance and then drop down here. So see, there's a bit of consolidation here. So we could go back up here to look for sellers back down again. So we are too low in price here to be looking for sellers. Mind you, what could happen is if we go down to 1 hour, what could happen is that we may get a break, and that could be also a good chance to get into a sell. So if we get a clear break from here, a pullback, okay, to retest that, to get the confirmation, okay, then we can catch that. Or we could just go all the way, if price decides to go all the way here, respects our monthly resistance, then we can, catch the move from here down here. Okay, guys? So there's our two opportunities. Could go here to sell down here, or break below, retest, and then sell as well. So that's something to look out for here, and also have an overall trend line here. So this counter trend was broken, retested. If you missed that, then you have another chance, retest and then sell again. Okay, and look at the moving averages. Price is just flowing through. Okay, flowing underneath. Okay, helping you, guiding you with the trend overall, moving forward. NZD USD. Now NZD USD above monthly support. So what could happen is we could be looking for some buys here into resistance. If it breaks that, once again, break, retest, continuation, maybe even a sell here, target here, or we could be looking for targets down here. USD CAD kind of upsets me in a certain way, because end of last year, maybe the beginning of, hang on, where was this? Yeah, so at the beginning of this year, if I just take that out, everyone could understand, okay? Everyone could understand. Sometimes you need to understand is that your way of looking at the charts, there's nothing wrong with that, okay? There's nothing wrong with how I trade. It's just that we can't, be like, oh, now everything that I know and how I trade is incorrect. So now I'm going to look for different mentors and courses and things. No, just stop right there. Okay, anyone could have understood that this was resistance. Okay, this was resistance. Market was respecting the weekly resistance. Okay, because the transition from an uptrend to a downtrend and then multiple sellers. So like I was selling here. I made some great money from just selling from the resistance, okay? And then especially here. So what does one do? What does one person do? You know, sells from resistance and then tries to aim for the monthly support again. Unfortunately, as you can see, there was a lot of economical factors happening, coronavirus, you know, change of economy, stocks dropped, things like that, okay? So what's happened is puts, okay? Crazy moves. But look, we are back down. We are back to exactly even lower, okay, to where we were looking to sell. All right. So if anything, it's annoying, but it's good at the same time, because now we can, you know, look for to aim for the monthly support here, guys. Okay, we can aim for that as long as it keeps its downward structure. Then we can forget about the past. We can't do nothing about that. We could, you know, sell from this resistance. If this support breaks, okay, retest and sell. And then we also get a counter trend break here as well. So if we break, if we are lucky enough for price to come back down here, up here, sorry, then we can sell back down again, maybe down here or even overall. We have a Fibonacci that we can use as well into the golden zone, 61.8. We have fib targets, and we got levels of long-term projections like this monthly. So yes, I'm aiming for this monthly. Reason, the best thing about trading is we have stop losses, okay? And I tend to not use them as much as I should. So I'm going to start doing so, because this week has been a bit heavy on me. It sometimes feels like, you know, one step forward, two steps back sort of thing. So I need to start using those stop losses, because you never know, you know, you could be so confident about this happening, and then, as I mentioned before, this is just going to happen. You know, we can't control these things happening, okay? But what we can control is knowing our understanding of the market and using our proper risk and our stop losses, so that we don't lose the complete account balance. Because, you know, it could have taken us 2 weeks, 3 weeks to build that account, and then instantly in a day or even hours wipe that whole entire 2 weeks of hard work gone in like a matter of that. Okay, it's happened to me in the past, and it's not a good feeling. Okay, so remember that. Right, moving along, last two pairs. USD Swiss franc, guys. USD Swiss franc. It's there's no levels here, so I should put those levels on there. Okay, so simple thing. It's probably actually a good thing that I'm going to be doing this. So whole numbers. So we got a 9. Okay, so that's monthly support. 9.5 monthly resistance. We can go to a 10, okay, monthly resistance, or even higher. So that'll be 5, okay, monthly resistance. Now some monthlies below, so 8.5, and then 8. Okay, so they're your monthly key levels: 8, 8.5, 9, 9.5, 10, and then 10.05. Okay, so same thing, 2, 2.5, 3, 3.5, 4, and then in between you have the weeklies. Okay, so we can have, if I just take my zones, take my blue zones from this, unlock that, copy, lock that again, come back here. So now with my monthly zones, I have little blue psychological areas, okay? So it doesn't always have to touch the black line, it can go within the blue zone, okay? Helps with psychology and things like that. And it just looks nice. Like personally, it just looks nice, okay? So I have my zones here. Okay, now in between the zones we have our weeklies. So our weeklies are going to be 25s and 75. So whichever number, it's going to be 75, 25. Okay. So in between here, see, 25. Okay, weekly resistance. 9, 75, weekly resistance. 925. Weekly resistance. Now, because prices above that, we're going to have supports. Weekly support 7.5 because we went 5, 75, 9, 25, 5, 75, 10, and then you understand that now. Okay, so monthly support. Okay, and then over here we have weekly support. Always get that confused. Okay, so weekly support here. Okay, so now, and to me personally, not having this, there is no foundation. You don't need these levels, but to me, when I look at this, I look at this straight away and like, look, bounced off the weekly. Bounced. See, I'd done the same thing. I'd done the same thing again. It bounced off the monthly. Okay, rejected the monthly, and then look, aim for the weekly. Okay, break the weekly, aim for the monthly. All right. Here, bit choppy. Okay, so with choppiness, I have a thing called breakout box. Okay, so it could break out, come to a resistance level. So we got some daily, where's mine? Daily zone here. Okay, price could respect the weekly resistance or maybe the daily, and then have a counter trend break, rejections of these levels, and then we can sell back down. Or we could just simply break that, retest, and then aim for the next weekly. Okay, so at the moment, this currency pair is choppy as hell. Can we trade it? Yes, we can. We can use intraday. See how we don't have a swing opportunity, so we can utilize the smaller time frames and try and scale in. Okay, so sell here, back down. Okay, so we could wait for price to come back higher to sell back down because it's in the middle. Okay, it's in the middle here. I really don't want to be trading that. You could sell that. You could get into a sell. Maybe let's just say a retest of this support, which has already happened, break and retest, and then sell back down to maybe here. Okay. But then what would happen is you would need to wait for price to make its drop and then retest and then sell back down. So yeah, you could with this sort of what I'm showing you now, it's more scalping, catching 50 pips back down to support here. Okay, 44 pips, things like that. Okay, so you can do that, but I want to wait for the bigger picture because that is where it's at. That is where it's at. Big turning points. Okay, catching pips. So yeah, breakout box. To me, no trade unless it comes to a resistance. I can sell back down again. USD Japanese yen. Okay. It's respecting this support resistance monthly. Structure is down. Oh man, this pair is so choppy. It's just so choppy overall. But look, it's in a downtrend. Always has been a downtrend. It's just that it's just been so choppy, and certain times it's hard to read because there's so much going on, so many wicks and consolidation that it can be quite, you know, overwhelming. So if I just look at this here, you really need to train your eyes, you know, like you need to really look at these things. So there's support here, even if we go back in time. Okay, what's this mic doing? So, you know, looking back in time, looking left, trading right is very, very crucial as well. See how it's broke that, retested it. And actually my friend, a very close friend of mine, who's actually, you know, starting to really understand this, you know, it's going to take time for him, but I'm so glad that he's back on board. Okay, he is a very close friend of mine, and I'm very proud that he's doing this, because, you know, the thing is, if it was easy, then everyone would be doing this. And there was a time when he had a bit of a break, and that's fine, you know, like people need breaks from this because it can get really, really, it can really play on your psychology. And especially if you've lost a bit of money, you think that, you know, like, what the fuck, like, I need a break because I'm going to keep losing it, and it's not something that I want to be doing, okay? And that comes down to lack of knowledge and patience. And now that I'm, you know, helping him, I'm giving him the knowledge that he needs, okay? Even personal, you know, here and there, answering his questions. I can see him going a long way with this. If he sticks to it, sticks to his plan, understands pretty much everything. Like, this video is a long video, okay? This is pretty much a chart breakdown. You know, even if none of these currency pairs work out, you know, which they will, majority of them, okay, with patience and understanding comes good reward. Even if, you know, certain currency pairs that I have analyzed on this chart breakdown video, number 20, don't work out, at least you guys have, you know, received some extra training, okay? Understanding how I see the market and what you should be looking for as well. In this case, it's bouncing off this monthly resistance here. So I would personally want to wait for some sort of breakout. What's going on here? Just checking my Instagram. I no longer have Facebook. I don't know. I'm finding like there's no potential use for me for it. So yes, if it breaks this counter trend here, then we can aim for this weekly support here, guys. Okay, clear, nice break. Maybe if, you know, we can sell from, if price comes back up here, we can sell from there down, so we can have a support and then have stop loss above here, and then aim for the weekly target support here. Fib, yes, Fib is valid from the high to the low. 50%, okay, 50%, and then you got your extension number one here. Extension number one here, minus 27, and look at that, it's in line with this previous structure here. And then the minus 20, the minus 61.8, guys, is very, very close in line with where we aim to catch our sell target, the weekly support, 104.00. All right, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. I would really, really like for you guys to share this public group. You know, the Royal Exchange public group link. You know, try and get as many people on here that, you know, you personally is trading or is having a hard time understanding and not seeing any results. We have the online course, we have some YouTube videos, okay? So please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Royal Exchange Forex, guys. Get on there, hit that subscribe button and like our videos. Watch those videos, okay? But don't forget to subscribe, you know, because what makes me want to make these videos a lot more, okay, is if people show me that they are interested, if they are dedicated to learn, okay? Thanks, guys, and I'll see you on the next chart breakdown. Thanks. And also, those who are, you know, got the online course, there'll be a complete revamp. I'm going to strip a lot of that content down, not all of it, of course, but I'm going to redo it, make it all fresh, sexy, okay? Royal Exchange fx.com.au. You can do the free introductory course if you like that, if you like our public group, if you like these videos, if you like our YouTube channel, if you like everything that we do, you know, that I do, that I provide, try and help, then you have the chance to purchase and become our lifetime member. One-time purchase, okay, it's $2.99 Australian dollars, so it's even cheaper anywhere else where you are in the world. That's one time. You get the complete course, you get the chart breakdown channel, which has now 20 videos just like this on there for you guys to go back and watch. You also be part of the trade calls, okay? So it's not signals, it's just potential trades and high potential trades, and what I see that could, you know, like that you guys, you know, members could use and trade, okay? Also, you know, using your own understanding and bias. So if anything, the trade calls channel is extra confluence, okay? So if you are trading those particular trades and pairs that I'm posted that I see sellers or buyers, you can just use that as extra confirmation, okay? And then if you are, you know, seeing a different direction, then ask yourself, oh, okay, I wonder why he's, you know, looking for sells, or why is he looking for buys? And then you'll go back to your charts and then see why, okay? See you on chart breakdowns number 21. Thanks, guys. Peace out and take care.